Nedda njagala kumanyamu alivinga omuntu nga muntu bya ddala. Lwaki oba okola ebintu ebyo?
Ne mwana.
Nze ekyo ekifaananyi si kyangu kinkulaba.
Gende mu maaso. Tubamu byogera.
Mwere tuddamu byogerako. Gamba ze ssente ze bansindikira. You're welcome. You're welcome on Black Codify Network, Africa Maria from Kampala, Uganda, with my colleague. Innocent, good evening. It is, of course, exactly 36 minutes past 7.
Name.
5 here in Kampala, Uganda. Now, today's topic, of course, is about Congo. And we know that Congo is having 20. elections and political elections. Congo is one of the countries that we always wish, as we wonder, first we wish for Congo to have peace, and then we wonder if it will ever have peace. Will Congo have the best leader who will take it through all this that, of course, it is experiencing? Congo needs a strong leader who's going to carry it through the road of freedom, like Patrice Lumumba. Now, the history of Congo is complex and marked by a series of events: colonization, independence, struggles, and political unveils. But of course, let's first take you back to the colonial period of Congo before we just kick start today's, of course, elections. Of course, that I think started like 2 days ago. But we are going to take you a little bit on a brief history of Congo now, the history of course, colonization, independence, struggles, and political unveils in Congo. Now, first, let's look at the colonial period in Congo. Now, the Congo River basin was initially explored by European expeditions in the late 19th century. Congo, when we talk about King Leopold II of Belgium, we cannot forget what he did in Congo. Of course, King Leopold II of Belgium claimed the Congo Free State as his personal possession in the 1880s. This period was notorious for brutal exploitation and forced labor, accusing significant suffering among the local population. King Leopold II of Belgium is known for cutting off the hands of young Congo children who have not delivered as he has expected, because he was known well for child labor. Congo, King Leopold II's existence in Congo still remains tremendous. So it still remains as a sad, history that will never be forgotten throughout the history of Africa and, of course, Congo. Now, in 1908, the Belgian government took over control of the Congo from King Leopold II. Of course, like I told you, you're just going to have a little bit brief of the history of Congo until we see why we have these elections in 2023. Now, of course, when Belgian government took over control of the Congo from King Leopold II, transforming Congo into the Belgium Congo, the colonial era saw exploitation of resources. The colonial era saw exploitation of resources, forced labor, and lack of political representation for the Congolese. When the Belgium Congo, of course, they also committed their crimes against humanity in Congo. Congo has not had peace for. So from Belgian Congo, Congo of course started struggling for its independence, and in 1960, Congo gained independence, and Patrice Lumumba became its first prime minister. Patrice Lumumba became, of course, Congo's first prime minister of the independent Congo in 1960. His tenure was short-lived as he faced political turmoil and was ultimately arrested, tortured, and assassinated in 1960. In 1961. Remember, Congo gained its independence in 1960. Then, after Patrice Lumumba, we see uh, Mobutu Sese Seko era. Now, in 1965, Joseph Mobutu seized the power through a coup and ruled for more than 3 decades. Now, the country was renamed Zaire during this period. Mobutu's reign was characterized by corruption, authoritarianism, and economical mismanagement. First and Second Congo Wars. That was in 1996 to 2003. These wars involved multiple African nations. Those are the first and second Congo wars. Of course, in 1996 to 1993, Congo was in wars. Now, these wars involved multiple African nations and rebel groups, leading to widespread violence and humanitarian crisis. We see that Laurent Desire came to power in 19 Kabila came to power in 1994 after ousting Mobutu. He was later assassinated, and his son Joseph Kabila assumed the presidency. We know that, of course, Congo throughout since that day of since Patrice Lumumba was murdered, Congo has been in and out of violence, leadership. It has had leaders. Leaders have, of course, some of them have been assassinated, and of course, their children taking over power. We've seen coups, we've seen wars since 1996 to 2003. So apparently, we had the efforts were made to stabilize the country, and democratic elections were held in 2006, leading to Joseph Kabila's presidency. Now, political tensions, conflict in the eastern region, and issues of government have persisted in Congo as of now. And of course, in 2019, Felix Tshisekedi became the president after controversial elections, succeeding Joseph Kabila. Now, Felix Tshisekedi, as per now, is still the current president of Congo, but we of course see that Congo is holding an election that, of course, drives three possible leaders or three possible presidential candidates in Congo. Uh, of course, Sekedi wants to come back and, of course, lead Congo. And the people that, of course, are contesting for presidential elections in Congo, we have Felix Sekedi, the current president. We have Moisi Katumbi, and of course, we have Martin Fayulu as they contest. Everyone is promising Congo a new Congo. Everyone is promising Congo a prosperous Congo. Everyone is promising Congo a peaceful Congo. But we are yet to see change in Congo. Everyone is still wondering who is going to be the best leader, who is going to liberate Congo from all these wars, the civil wars that are going on. Is Congo going to have change? Is Congo going to have peace? Is Congo going to have a new presidential leader come 2024?
General elections are expected to, of course, be held in Democratic Republic of Congo on 28th December this month. Yeah. We know that simultaneous elections will be held for the president, almost all the members of the National Assembly, almost all of the elected members of the 26 provincial assemblies, and for the first time under how the new constitution, members of a limited number of commune councils or municipal councils. In Uganda, we have districts. Yeah. So these elections are the first of the fourth election cycle under the 2006 constitution. Six more elections will follow
Yeah.
in 2024. So five of which are in the elect. So the normal elections will not be held in territories of Kwamouth, Masisi, and Lesotho due to the armed conflicts. What question?
Yes. Children.
Normal elections will not be held in territories of
Portsmouth, Masisi, and Rufuru
Yeah.
due to the armed conflict.
Mhm.
Now, apparently, when we picture Congo, the first places that come into our mind are, of course, Portsmouth, Misisi, and Rufuru, because these are the people and Rufuru. These are the places where there is too much conflict. These are the people who need to decide. These are the people who have 100% right to judge. These are the people who need change. Unfortunately, Congo leaves them out untouched. They do not even vote. They do not have a say, but rather those people, others in Congo who are living a peaceful life in Congo, are the ones apparently who are going to decide for those people living in the war zones or in the war areas of Congo. Should really these people not have the right to vote? I feel before anybody else, they have that right to vote. They have that right to vote somebody they feel is going to bring them peace. But unfortunately, that right, I think, usually is always taken away when we see conflicts like this. And of course, as we are carrying out elections, people have to come together. And maybe the government is a little bit scared that in case they do, probably they may have, of course, another terrible genocide, because of course the rebels will know that people are gathered in such kind of places. Or if I think Congo does not have enough forces to protect its people to the point that it's sacrificing these people to not have, of course, the right to come and vote. Doesn't Congo have enough military defense to at least protect its people, even if it means for a day? So this apparently shows that these people are living in a different world in Congo. Because if I have not been given that ability to vote, then definitely I'm not a citizen of Congo. I have a right to wake up and say, I am not part of Congo because I do not involve, I've never involved myself in activities that, of course, unite as one.
So, in addition to insecurity in these areas, we know that the Democratic Republic of Congo has suffered from almost constant conflict in the east of the over actually the past 30 years. We know that the east has resources. It is impressed with a lot of resources. That's why I guess that it is always in endless conflicts. Okitegeera? So, more recently, violence surged in the region after the new rebellion by the M23 group, supported by Rwanda, caused much of the North Kivu province to be occupied by rebels. So, the upsurge in violence comes as Monsuku is expected to begin its accelerated withdrawal as requested by Shekedi. After an almost 25 years presence in the country, due to this, the Eastern Province will not be able to vote normally. But if Goma were to fall as it did in 2012, the whole process would be accomplished, of course. With the possibility of a million voters being disenfranchised from instability from the Southern African Development Community, SADC, of course, has proposed sending the regional intervention force to the eastern DRC to try to stabilize the area. The SADC mission in the DRC was first proposed in May and was meant to go in by September, but has been postponed uh, with the recent concerning finance issues. So, so before this year, Congo had last had elections in 2018. and it is believed for those elections to it is believed to have had a lot of fraud. So President Felix Tshisekedi's election in 2018 was extremely controversial, with most independent observers, including the Catholic Church, believing that opposition candidate Martin Fayulu
Fayulu.
had actually won in a landslide.
Mm,
Okitegeera? That's why this guy is coming back.
mm,
Okitegeera?
mm,
So they believe that outgoing President Joseph Kabila, realizing his candidate couldn't credibly win, struck a deal with Tshisekedi to make him president while Kabila governed jointly with him. Kitegeeza ono afugafuga konna n'oli yavaako bwe yaddira mbigere.
mm, mm, mm. After Kabila kwegamba, he ruled for all those years,
And he's still
but still
ruling.
he's
They
still
are ruling
ruling. They
jointly.
are ruling jointly with Sekedi.
So the election will most likely not to be completed free and fair, but believes Shekedi and the Senate are aware of the fact that they would be under closer scrutiny than in 2018 because more local and international observers will be watching. Additionally, candidates such as Deli Sanga have already declared that they would believe the Catholic Church opinion of who won the election. Uh, so we see that the Catholic Church has some touch in Congo's elections. Mu Congo, Catholic Church deciding it makes a huge decision in these elections. Deciding who is to become a president. It means the whole entire system of election of the opposition leaders, they're supported by the Catholic Church.
Watyo gye wajja ebintu bigenda e Roma. Kifaananyi kya Yesu kiri mu gombi wa Congo.
So
It is also important that the Catholic Church decides because there is a lot to do with the minerals in Congo. There is a big connection with the minerals in Congo and Rome. So it is important that the Catholic Church, and actually the Catholic Church has been involving in Congo's politics for some time. It is funny because people always say religion does not mix with the politics, usually. But even though a lot of religious leaders also have an influencing position when it comes to politics, they hide. But in Congo, it is well known. It is a broad daylight event. They don't hide no shit. They influence, they don't hide.
So when we look at Congo's electoral system, we know that the president is elected by plurality voting in one round. So the 500 members of the National Assembly are elected by two methods. In electoral districts having been allocated only one seat, members are elected using the first past the post voting. While they are allocated multiple seats, the members are elected by the open list proportional representation with the seats with the seats blacklist. With the seats assigned using the largest remainder method. So proportional allocation of seats to electoral districts will be finalized by June. Was finalized already in June for the more 2018 elections than were 62 single member constitutions and with 438 elected for multiple members. Kati ebyo byonna nga tubita dda. We are seeing that people are not satisfied with Congo's last election results. The 2018 results that were in Congo, people considered it to be fraud. So we see opposition now joining. But our question is, will the Congolese opposition unite?
Mm.
Okay,
And I'm
really.
deleting the contacts and resume. Okay, that. Choosing a message.
So in July, amid a tense political climate, the body of an opposition legislator was found in his car with a gunshot wounds on a main highway in the Democratic Republic of Congo's capital, Kinshasa. We know that Okende was a former transport minister turned spokesperson for the leading opposition party.
Assembly Polar Republic. Assembly Polar Republic. Together for the Republic.
Mm. So whose leader is Moise Katumbi is set to compete in Congo's presidential elections in less than a month. It is less than a month by the way
Man,
now.
Moise Katumbi is a millionaire in Congo by
Yeah.
now.
Why not a millionaire? Because of course Katumbi is a former governor of the mineral-rich province of
Mm.
Katanga and
Mm.
the owner of Congolese football club TP
TP
Mazembe.
Mazembe.
So claimed at the time that the killing was a political assassination and an attempt to silence the opposition. Okende resigned from the government last year when Katumbi left the ruling coalition led by President Felix Tshisekedi. So the murder is part of the series troubling events leading up to the elections,
Mhm.
including several arrests of opposition figures have left, of course, critical questions whether Congo can deliver credible elections at the time when Africans are wary of sham ballots and when coups in the West and the Central Africa are on the rise. So the last election in 2018, we know that which brought that Sheked who is in power right about now was heavily disputed. Hmm? In total, 23 candidates are in the running against Shekedi, including the 2018 Nobel Peace Prize winner Denis Mukwege, a renowned genealogist known for helping victims of sexual violence in Congo, and the former oil executive Martin Fayulu, the former commitment. This guy who is coming in now for presidential election, Fayulu, hmm? He's now coming out. So is now coming out with the commitment citizen and development party, whom many local international observers consider the true win of the last elections in 2018. This Martin Fayulu.
Mm.
So many international observers. So this guy must be even be supported by Western people because
Mm.
they consider him just like Bobby Wine in Uganda. They consider him to be the person who won elections in 2018. That the elections had a lot of fraud. So he's supported by these people,
Mm.
eh, the
Mhm.
Western people. So we know that the church, like I said, the church is having a lot of touch in Congo's elections.
Mm.
And it has not started today. The church has been evolving in these elections over time. It decides on whom should be president in Congo. So we know that the Catholic Church is seen as one of the Congo's most trusted civil society organizations, deployed around 40,000 observers to polling stations during the 2018 elections, and said that votes counted showed that Fayulu had won. If I know that Fayulu had won these elections in 2018.
Mm.
So they say that, of course, President Joseph Kabila, who was the president in 2018 by then, may have sought to cling to power through deal with Shekedi, whom the analysis showed should have been a runner-up.
Mm.
So the Catholic Church is spreading, I won't call it gossip, but it's spreading. It is making rumors around that. Shekedi made a deal with the former President Kabila. Yeah, there is also other rumor that Shekedi is ruling Congo alongside the Kabila because they made a deal so that to make this guy pass through. So in September, we know that in September, Jean-Marc Kabandu, the former head of Shekedi's Union for Democracy, had the Social Progress Party, was sentenced to 7 years in prison for insulting the state. So this guy was arrested last year, about a month after creating his own party in Shekedi's government. So called the Alliance for Change, he had denounced Shekedi's government for mismanagement characterized by carelessness, irresponsibility, enjoyment, and production at the top of the state. So, Congo Electoral Commission, known under the French acronym, hmm, faces a daunting task of organizing ballots across vast country with a limited infrastructure and widespread violence in the eastern region. We know that the eastern region is experiencing wars. You had just said this that amidst Congo having elections now, the eastern part, the other states you talked about, they are not going to have elections. But these are the people that want peace. These are the people that want to be free. There are a lot of people that are living there. There are a lot of people that have been displaced in those areas. But I've never seen, let it be Kabila, I've never seen them in their manifestos trying to bring out that that essence of people that are suffering, that are in war area, that are in war zones.
And this is actually the biggest problem with the war that is going on in Congo. When the majority of the people are not affected, it is very hard for people to seek peace. You can see in other regions of Congo, they're even going to have elections. People are going to go about with their day-to-day activities, and nobody, even in Congo, actually, nobody even cares about what is going on in the eastern part. Nobody cares because the people in the center, the people in the south, the people in the west, the people in the north are having peace. They are fine. They are benefiting. They are, and most of them are even moratos. So they don't really care what is going on. That's why the minorities in Congo are still going to continue suffering. Because even the president that is coming in power is not focusing, is not looking at, because in their manifestos, you are not seeing where peace for the people in these war infected areas are being addressed. You're not seeing them being addressed in their manifestos. Most of their manifestos are talking about wealth, job creation. You cannot create job when there is no peace. In their manifestos, we are not seeing somebody addressing the fact that every day, millions of Congolese are dying every day in the eastern belt, in the eastern part of Congo. Now, if their political leaders do not have such kind of manifesto under their political, of course, missions, and the people who are going to vote actually are not seeing this as a problem, then there is a very huge problem in Congo. But of course, that is them. And for the fact that the Catholic Church, of course, has involved in Congo's leadership for a very, very long time. And of course, this aspect to the political Congo. Of course, we see them during. We see them influencing the political situation in Congo even throughout history. Now, the Catholic Church has a long history in Congo, dating back in the colonial era. Missionaries played a significant role, of course, in of course Congo. During the struggle for independence, the church was often a voice for social justice, and of course, they claimed that they were against colonial exploitation. But we know it very well that the church, the Catholic Church, has benefited a lot on the exploitation that is going on in Congo, because apparently Vatican is one of the churches that almost has everything made out of gold. Where do they get the gold from? Now, we know that the Catholic Church has at times played a mediating role in political conflicts. For instance, during the political transition in the early 2000s, the church facilitated dialogues to address the country's complex issues. Usually, the church was always bringing together the political leaders, and they have been debating on church forums, and of course the church claiming that it is of course trying so very hard to bring change in Congo. Now, if at all the Catholic Church in Congo has this big power, or this strong power to reach to the political leaders, both the ones in government and the opposition sides, how is it impossible that the Catholic Church has not been able to address the struggles, to address the conflicts, the cold wars that are going on in the eastern part of Congo? That means actually they have not, they don't really care with what is going on. Again, we have seen the Catholic Church, of course, monitoring and advocating, the elections in Congo. The church has been actively involved in monitoring elections and advocating for a free and fair electoral process. Now, a lot of people trust this church because apparently their propaganda is very clear and sympathetic. We know how to play along with people's emotions, but in some instances, the church has openly criticized, a lot of leaders, saying that there is no transparency in the electoral system. We also see that the church, of course, tries to advocate for human rights and so provide social services, and of course their role in the civil society. We have seen the church in Congo playing bigger. Actually, the Catholic Church in Congo plays a bigger role than even the government itself. It plays a very larger and extreme role in Congo. So apparently, at a certain time, I'm trying to try to investigate about the scenarios. Probably, we know who takes and who leads the Catholic Church. We know who makes the laws and who decides what to be done in the Catholic Church. So, if the Catholic Church has these great powers in Congo, and we are not seeing peace in Congo, and we are not seeing Congo, of course, having its freedom soon, there is basically a reason why. There is a reason why the church is very much interfering with Congo's politics.
So, I don't see very many African countries where the church is showing so much interest in politics, because the Catholic Church or the church should be minding, I guess, the church business, the church issues. But it is so different in Congo that we see that the Catholic Church is stroked with opposition. It
Mm.
is opposition stroked Catholic Church in Congo together. So these are people that have different ideologies for the country. I guess balina kye baagala bo nga bo okuyisaawo, lwaki beesiganye mu politics w'e Congo. Kitegeera. So, talking about the insecurities in Congo, we have that are not represented in very many manifestos. I know, I see presidents even these opposition leaders, they talk about getting people jobs, trying to revive the economy of Congo. But we know that almost 7 million people have fled their homes in North Kivu province due to reinsurgence of fighting between Congo army and the armed groups, the so-called March 23 movement, the M23. More than 1 million citizens have left without voter cards. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
So, some eastern towns will be excluded altogether from voting due to security concerns. Mm. So, some opponents believe that, of course, the only realistic chance of beating Sekedi, whom, of course, analysts predict will secure a narrow real election this year, since there is only one round of voting, is to form a coalition under the single candidate. Five leading opposition groups meet last week in South Africa and choose to throw their support behind Katumbi, the other rich man.
Mm.
So those supporters include
Kindly
Congo's
tell
former
us.
Prime Minister Matata, Ponyo Maponi, Seth Kikoni, who was the youngest candidate in 2018, and Frank Diengo, who was imprisoned under Kabila and freed by Shekedi's government, only to be jailed again in June this year for more than a month. So, all over, they withdrawn their own presidential bids. Insurgency dictates a single position candidate. Matata said that Pretoria, South Africa, are choosing the government of preparing massive electoral fraud under Shekedi's government. So, a part of his campaign manifesto, Katumbi had prayed to consolidate democracy, fight corruption, but we don't see that part of creating everlasting peace in Congo. We don't see that manifesto that protects the resources in Congo. So that has made us believe that all these leaders that are coming in, they are puppets for the Bazungus. Look at Shekedi, the current president of Congo, who is in power right about now. These are people that are not talking about the vast resources that are in Congo. These are people that are not talking about the conflicts that are in different parts of Congo that have made people to flee. Even some people are freed without getting voter cards. It means these people are not going to vote. We are talking about the 40 million people in Congo to vote this year, but we may not reach that number. So, internationally, there are some Congolese voters who question whether an election would bring about any change and intending to stay home. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church has said that it is on the watch for any sign of fraud and urged Congolese citizens to vote. Wrongly, experts suggest that given the potential for volatile elections outcome in Congo, neighboring countries within the Congo basin could possibly be the next line for the coup. We know that uh, Congo over years has been going through a lot. Congo has been uh, Congo has been are going through a lot. But of course, we know that opinion polls in the rare Democratic Republic of Congo, due to poor roads, lack of electricity. Nevertheless, the survey conducted, it says that it found that voters expressed significant discontent with the governance under Shekedi, assigning him a satisfaction rating of a certain percentage. Despite this survey, Shekedi would secure the second term, thanks the second term in part of the perceived improvements such as education and partly due to divided opposition. Um, the opposition in Congo is so divided. So we see very many people, they don't know much about this. They think that for one to be a dictator has to spend very many years in power, which is for one to be a dictator or a puppet, it doesn't need you to have been stayed in power for very many years. It needs you just a 1 year breakthrough, and you become a dictator. Kitegeera? Otegeera olimba nno oba bakudimpaako. Teekawo bakuswitsi mangu. Temanyi bateekawo omupaisi kuwela. Bakuswitsi nze nnonaga.
Oli mukazi.
Tago piigi. Ngenda kuddiza akaveera n'amazzi.
Yoyo.
Nze njagala ono. Njagala ono akaawa.
Oli yakaawa.
Nze njagala ono. Ndiyo yakaawa. Kasita kano kakufa. Zo groceries.
Kano okundeka kunoa. Wagenda mu kyalo n'oyogera ne mukazi wo. Twala ebitoobaako kiwaka. Nza kuba muli mulina mukuza mwana wange ng'oli amuntu. Sobola kumuma amazzi muli omulaamu mazzi. Ndaba nga
So.
anyway. Why does these elections matter? Why is it important that Congo runs these elections? We know that Congo holds 70% of the world's reserve of coltan, a highly prized mineral used to make mobile phones, plus 30% of the world's diamonds and large quantities of cobalt, copper, and bauxite. Although its vast mineral wealth and huge population represents huge economical assets, life in Democratic Republic of Congo is not improving for most people for a number of reasons such as conflicts, corruption, and many decades of poor governance dating back to the colonial era. Now, the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where most of the mineral wealth lies, has been ravaged by conflicts for fucking decades. It is impossible to know how many lives have been lost in 2008. Of course, there is a study with the International Rescue Committee. It estimated that about 5.4 million people have died, and now mostly from hunger and disease, making it deadliest since World War II. However, other studies have cast doubt on the accuracy of this figure after years of political instability and coup d'etats. Democratic Republic of Congo is organizing elections for the first time since the peaceful transfer of power between former President Joseph Kabila and Mr. Tshisekedi in 2019. Now that we know that following the withdrawal of four candidates, including former Prime Minister Augustin Matata Ponyo, there are now 22 presidential candidates, including Mr. Tshisekedi. His main challengers are Martin Fayulu, the man believed by many observers to have been the rightful winner of the 2018 presidential elections, even though he came second, according to official results. Moise Katumbi, a wealthy businessman and former governor of Katanga province, as well as the owner of the TB Mazembe football team. Now, the reads are Dr. Dennis Mukwege, the winner of the 2018 Nobel Peace Prize for his work with survivors. Now, the doctor is known to, of course, handle cases of rape and, of course, give them a new beginning. And more especially, if we look at where probably these cases are always incited, they're in the war zones and, of course, family conflicts and so on. So the four candidates who have withdrawn have all thrown their support behind Mr. Katumbi and he's together for the Republic Party. Now we know that still in the running are another former Prime Minister, Adolpha Muzinto, the MP Del Senga, and of course the activist Flobibat Zuluni and Constant Mutumba. All these people are still running, but of course we see those ones who are very prominent. We expect to see change in Congo. Because there are only two women in the race. We have Marie Jose Ifoku Mputa, and a presidential candidate that is in December 2018, and Joelle Bile, the later describes herself as the candidate representing hope for the women and the young people. Now, all candidates had to pay 160 million Congolese francs to participate. That is apparently 60,000 US dollars and 47,000 euros in non-refundable application fees. However, this is less than the previous election when the fee was 100,000 US dollars. Now, the voting system, of course, the voting system in Congo says that uh, whichever candidate against the most votes in the first round becomes the next president, whether or not they have more than 50%. So there is no second run out. That means the first kickstart of this election has a greater impact on the decision making of the presidential candidates in Congo. So there is nothing like we want to see the state initiate. So whether the stakes are high, the year's elections take place against a backdrop of conflict in the east, an economic and social crisis, and a lack of trust between the government and the opposition. The opposition party suspected the government of orchestrating electoral fraud, accusing it of restricting freedom and democratic space. Of course, the governments reject this accusation, just like you see Tshisekedi coming back, and probably maybe he hopes to be the president of Congo still yet. let's wait and see what Congo holds. Unfortunately, the people that we need to see are holding the ballot with blood and sweat and tears have not been given the liberty to vote because there are still insecurities along the eastern part of Congo. We know that many assurances have been given by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Of course, they say that they have failed to alleviate the opposition's concern. Now, the bishops of Democratic Republic of Congo, influential Catholic Church, and the leaders of the Church of Christ in Congo recently said they shared the opposition's worries. There is also a cost of living crisis, the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the war in the Ukraine, and still hitting ordinary Congolese people in uh, of course, in the pocket, inflation has reduced the purchasing power of ordinary citizens who now have to pay more than their basic necessities like food and others. The value of the Congolese franc has fallen by 15.20% against the US dollar since the start of the year, according to the official figures. We all know that two-thirds of Democratic Republic of Congo's population now live below the poverty line, earning $2.15 a day or less. President Sekedi has launched a number of initiatives to try to take these issues, including free primary school education and free health care for women giving birth to public medical facilities. However, opinion remains divided over how effective these measures have been across the country. Now, the government has imposed a state of siege across the province of North Kivu and Ituri for almost a year, but conflict are continuing to rage. Rebel groups such as the M23, the Allied Democratic Forces, and the Decons continues to carry out attacks against both ordinary people and the military targets the Congo as a result of the violence. Democratic Republic of Congo has among the highest number of internally displaced people in the world. Almost 6.9 million people are thought to have been forced to flee their homes since March 2022. The UN estimates that 28% of the population has been forcibly displaced in the North Kivu and 39% in the Ituri, respectively. Other hotspots have emerged as a result of inner community conflicts, notably in the province of Chopo in the northeast and May in Dombe in the southwest of the country. Insecurity is likely to disrupt voting in some parts of the country. Like in November, the Electoral Commission said it had lost around 30 agents to drowning and attacks by armed groups during the registration of voters. The Congolese government recently demanded the departure of troops from East Africa countries by the end of the year, accusing them of failing to stop attacks from armed groups less than a year after their deployment.
Kiraba, kiraba.
Yeah.
Ever since they deployed armies to gunfight rebel groups in Congo, in fact, the conflicts are just they are increasing. Bano batwalayo amateje to keep peace in Congo to fight those rebel groups that were in their countries, but in reality they are not. These wars are still on and now are rampant.
Mm. We know that the Electoral Commission is supposed to be an autonomous, permanent, and neutral body governed by public law and endowed with legal power. Of course, composed of 15 members, its mission is to guarantee free and democratic elections. We don't know if Congo is going to have a fair election, since even last time Sekedi was not, of course, the majority of the Congos did not believe that Sekedi won the war. However, it has come under fire from critics who accuse its president, Denis Kadima, of being too close to the government. That's the president of the Electoral Commission. They fear the fact he comes from the same ethnic group as the president could affect the integrity of the result. For his part, Mr. Kadima has repeatedly stated that his institution is committed to transparent elections that respect democratic principles. The European Union Observer Mission has pulled out of the elections. The EU Observer Mission has pulled out of the elections after failing to reach an agreement with the Congolese government over the importation of communication devices they needed to use. They will be deploying 8 experts, but only in the capital, Kinshasa. In the past, of course, the African Union, religious denominations, and civil society organizations have deployed observers to closely monitor voting. Now, we still have an ethnical problem with the tribalism all over Africa, that now even the people in Congo do not trust their electoral commission, believing that, of course, since the electoral commission president is of the same ethnic with, of course, the government, and that's Sekedi, they still believe that he may not be able to give a fair and balanced result. According to the electoral calendar, the provisional results are expected, of course, on the 31st of December. If the results are ready before that, they could be released sooner. But in provision elections, Seni has not announced any partial results. It has waited until all the votes have been counted across this vast country before declaring the winner. You know, the next president will be sworn in. Um, what?
So,
Now.
Auntie, what do you want there? So, why is it that yeah, like I said, we have been seeing a lot of East African troops going to Congo in this year. Very many troops have been going to Congo, but now we are coming to elections in Congo. They are on 20th, right? This month. We are seeing that Congo's government is sending all these troops. What was why is Congo trying to send? What was the regional troops mandate? Hmm? Yeah. You know that the Congolese government said that it would not extend in East Africa community or regional force mandate after months of Kinshasa complaining about the group's ineffectiveness. These groups that came from Uganda and other areas, Rwanda. So the decision not to extend the troop stay comes as violence between M23 rebel group and pro-government militants erupts in the Democratic Republic of Congo, troubled eastern regions once more, the eastern part of Congo. So I was asking you, what was the regional troops mandate?
The East African Community, as of course a union of 7 countries, sent its troops to Democratic Republic of Congo last year after a resurgence of fighting by the M23. Now, the first was agreed shortly after. The first was agreed shortly after Democratic Republic of Congo had joined the regional club. We know that they formed more than this was formed more than 10 years ago, and that the M23 has taken over large swathe of territory in the east, arguing that it does so to defend the interest of the ethnic Tutsi
Mm.
against the Hutu militants.
Mm.
It says, of course, they are saying that the Tutsi militants are backed by the government. Now, the M23, which was formed 10 years ago, which has taken over a large territory in the east, and saying that it is to defend the interests of the ethnic Tutsi,
Mm.
the Tutsis against the Hutu. Of course, they are claiming that the government of Congo is supporting the Hutu militants.
Mm. That is
Now,
the same thing I was telling the other time, that genocide is going on in Congo seriously. So these Tutsi people, these Tutsi M23 rebel groups, they are hunting the Hutus to kill them just because they believe that the government is supporting the what? The Hutus. The government of Shekedi is supporting the Hutus. So a lot of genocide is going on in Congo, mwana.
yeah.
Allah.
And of course, we said that Burundi actually was the first country to say, among the four, Burundi was the first country to send its troops to Democratic Republic of Congo in August last year, then followed by Kenya, South Sudan, and Uganda, with Kenya being the overall command. Now, the East African Community Region Force insists its mandate is to oversee the withdrawal of armed groups from captured areas. And of course, we know that the force was established to work alongside the United Nations troops who were already in the country. The United Nations peacekeeping force, known as the MONUSCO, has become increasingly unpopular for its failure to end the conflict during its 25-year deployment. Apparently, the UN MONUSCO peacekeeping forces have been in Congo for 25 goddamn years. We know that President Felix Tshisekedi said he wanted MONUSCO to withdraw from the country this month, of course, December. And we know that in a recent statement, the East African community said its forces were dedicated to working closely with the government to enable the safe return of internally displaced people to their homes and enhance the overall protection of civilians. Its mandate has been extended twice
since the mission.
So
why does DR Congo want East African troops to leave now?
Well, the East African soldiers have received repeated criticism from the Congolese government and civil society groups throughout their deployment. And we know that President Tshisekedi has become one of the force's main distractors. You know, he has complained about the mission's lack of effectiveness, issuing ultimatums for them to act more aggressively against the M23 or leave the country.
And these are things. It is the same thing I was telling you that. Why is it that we have very many troops in Congo, but these
and the troops are bigger than the rebels?
Oh yeah, and these groups are fighting in different areas. I was asking you that we are seeing that the M23s, they are killing people like alongside the border of Uganda and of course Congo. Why is it that these forces that are in Congo, they're not fighting these guys? They are in those areas that are mineralized. They are stealing minerals. They are doing a lot. They're doing a lot in those areas that are engrossed with minerals. But they are not looking at rebels. But now M23, this is a serious group amongst the rebels that are in Congo. It is a serious group. But Nebuzanga, why is it that we are seeing M23, but these troops that we have in Congo, they are fighting on different agendas? Oh, we have no mandate, we have no powers who have no, we are not mandated to attack the M23s.
The East African community soldiers are just romancing the M23. The M23 and these other rebels, of course, were formed by some of these people, so they know their mission. They get they of course they share some of the minerals that are being stolen from the other side. Olabona omukazi esaati kyazikola kati mubuuze nesaati ekyagimwozesa ne brush kiki ng'ate eddugala ki mubuuze kyamukutisa nesaati ne brush abuli n'essaati yo bwetyo bweri eri eya yero eneno waneeno wansi giraba essaati yo
ate onanzizaayo agera.
We know that the failure to end, of course, the conflict has led to demonstrations against both the East African Community Force and MONUSCO. One such protest in September, of course, which turned deadly, with more than 40 people losing their lives. This was very massive in September this year. Now, according to, of course, you know that Communication Minister Patrick. The Communication Minister Patrick Muyaya of course in Congo said that the message is clear: the East African Community Regional Force must leave the Democratic Republic of Congo by 8th December as agreed, because it has not been able to resolve the problems particularly that of the M23.
Yeah.
Apparently, there are a lot of rebels.
It is the same thing I was talking about while we were here discussing about Congo. I told you this, that we are seeing a lot of troops in Congo, but they are not looking at these M23 people. This is the only serious rebel group in Congo I see.
I know.
But they're not looking. They don't even interfere.
First of all, it occupies a bigger territory. I think it has the biggest territory. And this M23, forget the other one, which is called Rwanda, what. Most of the rebels in Congo are actually Rwandese. So, Ikan Fire says that, all right. Okay. Hello, everyone. I don't trust the Kenyans. I had their friends wait. The militants, I'm glad when they leave. I prefer Saddam. I'm glad when they leave. I prefer Saddam. I prefer Saddam. Why don't you trust Kenyans? Are they friends with the militants? Oh, you had their friends with militants. You prefer when they leave. Yeah, we are seeing a lot of the leaders, a lot of these rebels that are in Congo, actually, they are apparently under the same umbrella, but with the different, different squads. Of course, we know that dozens of armed groups have long plagued Democratic Republic of Congo's mineral-rich eastern region. After a precarious 6-month truce, fighting resumed between the M23 rebels and the pro-government forces known as the Wazalendo. This month, hey! The government in Kinshasa accused the M23 of failing to disarm and uphold the ceasefire. Now, the M23 in turn blamed the pro-government forces for the resumption of the violence. Congo's army said it was still respecting the truce, but witnessed contests this, saying soldiers and pro-government realities have been fighting together against the M23. Civilians have been caught up in the renewed violence. Just last week, at least 60 were killed in attacks on North Kivu's Rutshuru territory. And it's very funny how all this is going on.
Mm.
in Congo. And of course, to the point that the government sits,
Mm.
you sit and you start talking to M23.
Yeah,
M23 orders the government.
please,
What kind of
please.
nonsense?
Let's have a table around.
Let's have a round table.
Talk.
M23 doesn't say what they want. You
Mm.
cannot say you are fighting the Hutus.
Mm.
You cannot say you are Tutsi because, of course, M23 is a Tutsi.
Mm.
You cannot say you are fighting the Hutus and causing disunity in Congo. And again, the government of Congo, of course, allows you. We need to say, go back to Rwanda where the Tutsi and Hutus apparently are come from. So why do you bring the Hutu Tutsi shit in Congo and killing the Congolese people?
Mm.
And again, there is a law, there is a matrix. How does even the Congo government allow these dudes that we are having around the table? Next time you're having a round table in Kenya, next time you're going to have a round table. How do you start negotiating with such kind of barbaric terrorists in your country?
Mm.
How do you negotiate with people who are claiming we are here to protect the Hutus? Carry the Hutus. Take them where they belong. Is it not Rwanda? Why don't they carry the Hutus and take them? Why does Kagame think he has M23 to protect the Hutus? You are protecting the Hutus in a territory that is not for the Hutus. It does not make sense. Unless the government of Congo has a lot that it's hiding. Because how do you sit and even negotiate with such kind of people? How do you sit and start negotiating? Your people are dying. We are not seeing Hutus and Tutsis dying. We are seeing the Congo people dying. If you love so much your Hutus, if you carry the Hutus, get the bus, pack your Hutus, take them to Rwanda. Let them enjoy Kagame after all. So why should the Congo people suffer? And of course, we know there is a lot to the situation that is in Congo that one meets the eyes. Sorry, I mean Sadak. Okay, it's okay, dear. It's okay. It's okay, fire. We get. So why should these other people the Southern Africa Development Community? Botswana. Ngasiramo agondi Kenya.
I'm just relating a book.
Zion Drc.
How do they have friends wait the militants? I'm glad when they leave. I prefer Sadak. I'm glad they leave. I prefer Sadak. I'm glad. I prefer Sadak.
All right. But first of all, the Kenya is the lead.
Yeah, it's leading
in Congo, and of course, the president of Kenya is also a puppet. He's being used, and that's why basically maybe by the lead. Right now, there is a lot to do with, of course, the minerals and the exploitation of, minerals in Congo. So fire, yeah, you're right. You shouldn't trust nobody. There is no way. You cannot bring peace when there is no peace where you're coming from. You cannot give something you don't have. So apparently all these countries that are uniting or pretending they are of course saving Congo, they should first save the citizens in their country before even they start claiming they save. So you have a right whatsoever not to trust Kenya. You have the right whatsoever. And then we know that Ruto is a target of course, the colonizers, is a target of people who still want to control Africa. And at the end of the day, I feel like this guy is going to be a mediator who is going to work for, of course, those people, more especially the Americans and, of course, the UK, against the Africans. So you have all the rights whatsoever to, of course, fear.
Yeah. We see. We always talk about Congo being a rich country. We talk about the very rich in minerals across Africa and the whole world. But there are a lot of corruption that is going on in Rwanda. We see that it is
In
not,
Congo.
yeah, we see that it is not the Congolese that mine these vast resources that are in the Congo,
Mm.
but who are these people that support, that give a support to these people that are mining, of course, the minerals that are in Congo? There is a man called Nyachede, Dan
Dan
Gatara.
Gatla.
So that is the man at the center of GR Congo corruption allegations.
Mm.
Chitegera.
Mm.
So man, we know that um,
We know that this Dan Gatala, of course, recently Biden administration recently
mm,
reimposed sanctions
mm,
on Israel businessman Dan Gatala.
mm. This
Uh,
is not a Congolese man.
Dan Gatala is not a Congolese man.
Mm,
He's an Israel businessman.
mm,
Biden, of course, imposed a sanction on him
mm,
over alleged massive corruption in the Democratic Republic of Congo's lucrative mining business.
mm, mm,
Um, we know that, of course, his remarkable rise and his alliance with the former president Joseph Kabila,
mm.
which even saw him being appointed a Congolese
Can you
diplomat.
imagine?
So he has been in Kakuni
Mm,
with the Kabila.
mm,
This businessman has been in Kakuni with the Kabila to the point that he was appointed as a Congolese diplomat. Now, when the United States initially imposed the sanctions on the mining magnates in 2017, he hired President Donald Trump's lawyer to get them removed.
mm,
Now, the sanctions, of course, have been introduced for his allegedly corrupt relations with Democratic Republic of Congo's former president Joseph Kabila, helping him make a vast fortune from copper and cobalt deals in the country,
mm,
something, of course, both of them denied. Kabila denied, and this very guy denied. But Gatla has said that the allegations have been unfairly and wrongly leveled against him, adding that there is not a shred of reliable evidence with which support, of course, them. And we know that over 2 decades, Mr. Getler, still only 47, became one of Democratic Republic Congo's most powerful businessmen. He held sway over which multinational mining companies were lucky enough to mine the country's extraordinary reserves of copper, cobalt, tin, gold, and diamonds.
mm,
We know that on occasion, Mr. Getler also became a key diplomat, amizri for Mr. Kabila.
mm,
Amizri, that means
mm,
storage.
mm.
But of course, this guy went ahead and hired Mr. Trump's lawyer, Alan. That's how it, uh, who proved successful as well. Now, how does this guy then get connection with the Trump's lawyer?
Anti. Omuyisirayiri.
Omwisraeli.
Mm,
Bino ebintu bibeerako.
mm.
Kenya is the white mentality nation going around acting for the United Nations. They are in Somalia and they are still fighting there. Now Congo. Okitegeera, you can't fire.
Mm,
I do agree with you. Chikumi kuchinacho. I agree with you. I agree with you. So get clear.
So you were asking how do these people have connections to Trump's lawyers? How does people linked into Congo? Because formally we know like we have been knowing UN are doing much in Congo's minerals. French people are French doing much in Congo's minerals. But how does this Israel? He's not even just a businessman. He must even be
A
a
politician.
politician.
Mm.
Because how can you invest in an insecure country? How can you invest in a country that is going through instabilities over 30 years?
Like I always say,
Mm.
that the conflicts that are in Congo are,
Mm.
it's a business.
Mm.
It's a business to a lot of people. This is a business. It is important that these people secure this war to keep on going because it's a business for them. This guy has been in Congo for some time, and he has, of course, been so loud.
Mm.
Yeah, throughout time. And when we talk about the mining areas, of course, we are looking at the war zones, because the rebels in Congo and all these conflicts are around the mining areas. Now, if we have such an Israelite man in the war areas, and then we have connection of Trump's lawyers, Anandi Shawit, we have connection, of course, of a lot of people. There is too much. There is what we call the economical war that is going on between, the Biden. Biden knows shit that is going on, and given the fact that this dude is an Israelite, there is a lot to disagree about. Because apparently we know whoever claims they are coming to help Congo, they are actually not coming to help Congo. They are also coming to have a test of Congo's minerals. So this guy has been in and out of Congo, and he has access to reach the minerals. Oshegera, he's one of a big business guys. So he has access to reach the Congo's minerals and come back untouched and scratched amidst the bullets that are flying over. Now, when we are looking at people who are sponsoring the rebels, now I think I will pinpoint my first finger on this guy being among, of course, we know some others. Now, this guy is also among. Because you see, these rebels have divided themselves. They know the other L where they are, well A, or the mining area A belongs to these rebels. Mining area B, C, D belongs to this. Mining areas, check it out. So that's people just call in conflicts around as they are taking what is theirs. And I know that people who are in a leadership in Congo, and even the presidents, know what actually is going on. You know that uh, I know that the Trump administration granted Mr. Gatler a so-called sanctions license, which gave him access to his frozen funds and the international banking system for a year. That is in March, however, his fortunes reversed with a dramatic speed. And remember, they put sanctions, Biden put sanctions on these guys. You see, Biden put sanctions, claimed and put sanctions on this guy's wealth. But again, Trump's lawyer, the ex-president, the former president now of the United States of America, his lawyer comes in and, of course, battles. And this guy is given sanction license, and then he goes ahead and starts having access to his frozen funds. Trump is also in the picture, the idiot who was saying that Africans are stupid. Now, apparently, he's also involved. What was concerning that dude?
We know that the United States actually will continue to promote accountability for corrupt actors with all tools at our disposal. Actually,
We know that these, I know
you
even, no, United
America
States.
esigala ekukozesa.
And nekati mambo bo bayina ba promoting accountability for corrupt actors. Me, I know one thing: when you fail to serve them, nabakujayo. Kuba to remember, Trump was a president at a certain time. It's because waliwo data dealings
Mm.
It's because that there were dirty dealings.
Mm. Mm.
Immorality must also.
Morality against blacks is a benefit to Europeans,
And
and
we must recognize
recognize
that.
it. Yeah.
Yes, yes, we can. I agree with you, Chikumichinacho. African must also resist against Europeans and Arabs in order to counter
Yes.
racism. Yes, we are together. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Sorry,
We've been talking about this guy,
Now,
Dan Gatara.
now, that Jared,
Mm.
you know that after an outcry
Mm.
and the sanctions license from the anti-corruption campaigners, members of the U.S. Congress and former State Department officials, Mr. Gatler,
Mm.
became an early example of President Joe Biden's stated commitment to a principled foreign
Foreign
policy,
policy.
including
Chitenge.
cracking down on international corruption. The administration will draw the line since ono guy yali former
Mm.
tegeera this ono Gatler
Mm.
yali former state department yali
Diplomat.
Congress and former state department official.
Mm.
So this is how he has that connection. Now this is a Congress and former. This is a member of Congress and a former State Department official down in Congo, being a business guy in Congo, dealing in gold and all these minerals, and to the point that he has mining grounds and also she has a lot of influence in regards to the Congo elections and the political arenas. This dude is apparently an American, yo.
Mm.
So as people are trying to pinpoint
Mm.
as people are trying to pinpoint out
Chigeza. Mm.
Vamos, Fero. Okay, sorry. I was kale omumagunsi wanjogera ebigambo ebibi
ngo bigamba
nambigamba
ate nga biki bigambo
naye Mukama Katonda
bigambo
abinziggyako.
bigambo
Si bibi nnyo era bijja kunyiiza leero ojja kunogera wako eri ng'ogenda eki.
n'oyogera
Maria, are you are you reading your Bible verses? What is innocent? What is it? Let me call your wife to take you away from here. I hope you two are well. Some everyone viewing them. Hope you two are well. Same to everyone viewing. All right, Jim Jabba, we are good, and thank you. I was reading some messages from Keith. That's why I was taken. So I just saw the messages popping up on my WhatsApp. Yeah, they were trying to. I was checking on the updates of the people who traveled to Mombasa.
nakuyombera wamunsi
Does it make you feel yeah when you do it?
reading you
Mom, I'm not reading. I'm not reading my Bible verses. I'm not. Deep Java, how are you? It has been long. Yeah, it has been long. Amazing number. Kati mwasire ekiro kyonna nga mwogera. Kyokka mumukubira bubi mugamba mpasa. Yeah. Jakarta, great. Zero. Have you traveled to Mombasa? What was your experience? No, Jibjaba, me and Innocent, we are still in Uganda. And by the way, I've never traveled to Mombasa though. Yeah, I've never traveled to Mombasa, but I'm trying to make some plans. Me and Innocent, I don't know if me and Innocent, but whichever plans, if me and Innocent we are able to travel. Yeah, so but I've never been to Mombasa before. Yeah, I think
You have ever to Mombasa? Sara, confederate no one.
I've ever Jib has ever seen my videos.
When you're in Mombasa, what is the call? What are we doing there? Vacation.
Zanzunganga
But that is your point. What's it to do?
What is it? What are you saying? Hi guys, how are you doing this my day? We are good, General Mosquito. We are so good. Thank you for asking. Okay, Jibjaba, if you're okay, that's good then. We are fine too. Chenga sigenda nga Mombasa. Mbadde kuliva. I've never gone to Mombasa. Don't worry. Don't worry. I've never gone there.
Singata sese kulya mmere okwedda.
Yeah? Sinandi mukwebaka.
Ebimondo.
I'll be
Era
sleeping
twabadde
now.
twakutandisa.
Tuntandise ate kirungi nonyiiza kati sansumagira ne
Tewali byenkunyizizza. Just so Jibjaba, DR Congo is going through elections and is having elections on 20th of this month. Um, what what advice can you give to the Congolese people? We see that most of these leaders that are coming out as presidents, including the president that is in government right about
kigejjesa
now,
ekifaananyi.
Shekedi.
Kigejjesa.
Shekedi is not. We are seeing that most of these guys that are coming out for presidency in Congo, they are not giving that. They're not bringing out that essence of giving out because I see that what Congo needs right about now is peace amidst the very many rebel groups that are in Congo. But we see that Congo has reached even an extent of giving up of the troops that went to Congo to bring out peace. So, Jibjaba, what do you talk about this election process and election time that is going on in Congo? What advice can you give to the Congolese people out there that are watching Black Fire Network? Tontunulira bw'otyo.
Unmute, unmute. I do.
Look at that.
We know that, of course, Jib Jabba and General Mosquito founders talking about Mr. Gatla. Of
That
course,
prominent
he's a prominent businessman
in Congo.
who was, of course, his license was granted to him, and we know that Mr. Gatla has a connection. As Joe Biden tried to strike him for corruption, of course, Trump, since he was in the Congress and a former State Department official in the US government, Trump comes in and, of course, sends his lawyer to help. This guy has very much involved himself with the corruption in Congo. You know, we usually talk about things and the corruption that is going on, the extortion and the exploitation of minerals in Congo. And we talk about the involvement of the United Nations and the US government and other governments, of course, like the France, the German. Apparently, all the other countries are so much involved in the instances that are in Congo. And basically, some people probably feel like these are mere says, but of course, this Mr. Gatla is one of the typical example that shows that America has for a very long time been involving in the situations, of course, in Congo. But given the fact that he was a friend to of course, Trump, Joe Biden coming in power, he, of course, disagreed and wanted him to be, of course, he put sanctions on his accounts, and his accounts were frozen, and then we see of course the situation being lifted. And we know that Gatla is constant with the America's strong foreign policy interest in combating corruption around the world. The State Department spokesperson Ned Prince said that adding Gatla had engaged in extensive corruption. We know the connection Gatla had with the previous Congo president at that time. But we know that the US had withdrawn the sanction licenses, unilaterally without giving Mr. Gatla an opportunity to prove that he was living up to the commitments he had given, to allow an outside monitor to observe his business and to report his financial dealings. This guy apparently is known as to be one of the greatest, or the greatest business man in Congo. By the way, this does not only this is not only in Congo, but it also exceeds the territories of Africa, and also extends the depths of course, the US. Take over the presidential palace like they did in Sri Lanka.
Eject the
Eject the
UN.
UN and not tell the country after Niger. We are I'm seeing a conflict breaking out because of unsatisfaction of these results. First of all, there is biasness. Because people are saying that the president of the electoral commission in Congo is, of course, of the same ethnic with its Sekedi, the outgoing president. The president of Congo at that time. So of course, Sekedi is also coming back for another term. He's also among the candidates that of course contesting for presidency now. People are like, we know Sekedi cheated last time and he may cheat once again. And of course, it is this very electoral commission president who declared him a winner. And then we also see the involvement of the Catholic Church within the Congolese political leadership. Now, it's crazy how the Catholic Church is so very much involved in this in Congo. Apparently, I realized that the Vatican has a very big role to play in the political situations of Congo. And apparently, this shows that everyone wants to have a piece of Congo in one way or the other. Everyone is involved in these insecurities. Everyone is involved in Congo because everyone wants to have a piece. People have shares. People have shares in the bloodshedding of Congo. People have shares in the insecurities of Congo. People have shares in the death of course, the people in Congo. The entire world is up against Congo because we are seeing that everyone has a share. Others are deciding to take part in the United Nations security bullshit. Another other people are deciding to take part in the so-called elections. Others are pretending that they are up to create unity. But the most disappointing part is that all these candidates that are coming up to, of course, stand in as a president and do not have mandates. Their manifestos do not talk about the war infected areas. Their mandates are not talking about peace in Congo. Their mandates are not talking about actually securing a future for the people in the eastern part of Congo, but rather than talking about unemployment. Who the hell wants employment when
Without
people are
peace.
dying?
Yeah.
How are you going to employ people when the country is at unrest? So these are the queries, and you can see from their manifestos that actually the eastern part of Congo is not in the heart of the Congolese. We've been blaming the entire world. Congo is dying. Uganda, you are not saying nothing. Congo is dying. Where are you guys? But even Congo is sleeping when the eastern part of Congo is dying. Now, this is very surprising because I was expecting to see these people's mandate for playing, for putting the people of the eastern part of Congo at the front. I wanted to see them talk about the minerals. I wanted their mandates to be up to protect the Congo's minerals and give peace, but they are not. Which, of course, shows that they are puppets to somebody else. This is why they are addressing the insignificant things. There is no way you are leaving a certain population of people, to die, and you're only focusing on these others. And actually, for the fact that even these people are not going to vote. So should we say that people at the Western Democratic Republic of Congo, the people at the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo are not part of the Congo? Should they have their own leader? Should they have their own president? Should they do their own? Yeah.
So we know that the leading politician among this is among those people that are favored in this election, besides the incumbent president, and that is Katumbi, that billionaire man. We see that Katumbi restarts US lobbying. Okitegeera.
Page 2.
Kitegeeza this guy is backed by USA.
Yeah. Katumbi is backed by Moise Katumbi Champwe, because he has relaunched his US lobbying campaign after a brief pause. Of course, we know that if at all he's lobbying and connecting with the US, definitely, like I said, this whole thing, and that's why their manifestos, are not addressing the real things that I was expecting to see them address. But you can see who is backing them up. Now, Katumbi is being backed up by the US, and that's why you are seeing Joe Biden trying to arrest this businessman, of course, and because this businessman is from the US, but he's backing up Shekendi, which is crazy. So Joe Biden comes in the picture because for him, he's not benefiting. It is rather Trump who is benefiting from this whole thing. Now, Joe Biden says, I also need some, gold. I need some stuff. I need to have my touch in Africa. And then, of course, he's coming with this particular guy. And so apparently the political system, the people who are campaigning are divided among the interest of the Americans. So apparently different big people are involved. So who wins is very important to Trump, Joe Biden, and the rest of the people who would want. Of course, they have already put. We see why these people are so much involved in Africa's political system
Mm.
because they are benefiting
Mm.
from this more tribal bullshit. Jib Jabba says,
Mm.
Jib Jabba adds on a comment and says that since the 1400s,
Mm.
Maria, the
Not
Vatican
just
has been
Western and Central Africa, all of Africa.
to Africa.
Not just
600
Western and Central Africa, all of Africa. And why is Central looking all crazy? What the hell's going on?
He's Caribbean.
Not,
Umugambo, vera umbo picha.
I, what the hell's going on with this? I can't even join this damn live. What the hell's going on with? How'd you set this thing up, Maria? I can't even join this thing. I can't even
Why?
forget it. But anyway, all the politics that were created in Africa were created by the Europeans, so they were never there to benefit any African. Yeah, exactly right, Jim. It hasn't been Central and East. It's all of Africa. The whole thing. You know, who owns more land in Africa? The Vatican. The Vatican is the number one owner of land in a country that told them that the Africans should be enslaved.
Mm.
Africa,
Mm.
Like, I'm trying to see why the Central looking all scared. Has he seen Mr. Lover walking around there?
oh yeah. Motefe go changing a layout.
You owe the grandson or godson money. Anyway, are the Congolese and Ugandans people the same? Yeah, because you got the same tribes that are in both countries. The Lua, yeah, you had the same tribes. Instead, these borders are fraudulent. So what happened is you got these puppets. The Gami and Museveni have helped. See, what they were trying to do is break up the Congo. They were trying to break up. They were trying to break the Congo up. So because of the resource, they'd already broken up. You already got a smaller Congo, the African Central Republic, which was actually all part of the Congo Kingdom, Congo Empire. So white people, even the smaller Congo, which is big, the regular DRC, they want to break it up some more. What happened? What happened? I'm not even on it. Am I on it? Can you hear me? I'm not even on this thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even on this thing. I still can't get at it. I don't know, like got some kind of, I don't know. I still can't get at it. You guys got to hit the button.
No, we are going to add you. Let's add you. Don't worry. We are going to add you.
I want to get rid of the StreamYard. This StreamYard is stupid. Now. It don't work. It's too hard to do shit. They didn't change it up too much. I'm gonna get rid of this thing. I'm gonna get rid of the software and get another one. What you see is, I'm going back. I don't know if you guys can hear me. That's good. What you see is, what you see is, they want to break the Congo up, and then put their puppets in 5 different countries. It makes it easier to steal because it'd be disunified. They can steal. The reason why they put Kagame and Museveni in power, Kagame Museveni almost 40 years ago, Kagame 26, 27 years ago, then gave that fake narrative that the Bantus they were killing the Tutsis, all that bullshit. Oh damn. Hold on. So what you got is 70 and Kagame be given power in African countries, right? Giving power in African countries to help the Europeans deal. So that's the reason why you got the destabilization in the eastern part of Africa, because it's very wealthy. If the Congo was allowed to develop, it would be the wealthiest country on the planet, but it's never allowed. The Africans are too weak. Firstly, they're too divided. So until they get over the tribal beefs, the their childish tribal beefs, understand. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Until they get on their tribal beefs and understand that they're always going to be exploited until they unite. The Africans got to understand that's why they're being recolonized again. But you got the Arabs coming back, and because they know that Africa, as the world deals with this fake climate shit that they're making up, and then you see every one of these puppets going along with it, because that's the IMF's goal. Okay, let me go off track right now. Okay, you got something happening in Venezuela right now, right? You got the country next to Venezuela is called Guyana. Guyana, of course, Venezuela and Guyana has Africans there because they were brought there in slavery times. But what happened was the British stole half of Venezuela and renamed that Guyana because they were stealing, because the Spanish had lost their colony Venezuela. There was a war. And so what the British did, they annexed part of Venezuela's land. So what you hear in the news here, that especially you got some dumbass African leader don't know shit. This more about, oh, we're gonna stand with Guyana and their territorial stability, not knowing the history. Shut the fuck up. You African leaders are morons. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the goddamn mouth. You embarrass yourself because you don't know shit. What happened was that was always Venezuela. So for 150 years, Venezuela has tried to go through the white man's system to get the land back that was stolen from them, right? But they say, okay, we just want our land back. So, oh, we're gonna have to do another commission because the British had stole that land and made it part of Guyana. At that time, before Guyana got freedom, before these African slaves got freedom in Guyana, the British had stole that land from Venezuela. And so Venezuela had been petitioning the court, the white people's court, had petitioning the white man's court. Hey, you stole our land, Britain. Can we get our land back? No, shut up, you dirty indigenous Mexican shit, whatever they become. Shut up. So all this time, so now they found oil on this land. And so the puppets in Guyana were already bought up by the Americans, and of course, the oil companies said, yeah, we're gonna come in. So they bribed these puppets off, like they do in Africa, bribed these niggas, these Ghanaian niggas who were former slaves. They bribed their dumb asses off. And so you had Shell and Exxon going down to this part of, which is really Venezuela land, saying that they're going to now build an American military base there, and we're going to put oil companies there to drill for oil. Now in their world press, Venezuela's trying to invade Guyana and steal the land. It was always their land. Actually, it was stolen from them by the British, by the king and queen. It was stolen from them. And it's been in court for like damn near 200 years. They were saying, hey, are you going to give us our land back? You've stolen our land. We need our land back. So when they found oil on it, now it's, oh, Venezuela, how dare you bastards trying to steal Ghanaian land? How dare you? It's always been their land. That's why you got to know history. And that dumbass leader, shut your fucking mouth, you moron. You don't know history. Shut the fuck up. I seen him on TikTok. We're going to stand with Guyana and them stealing their land. That was never Guyana's land, moron. That was Venezuela's land, stolen by the British, their empire. They just stole it. Give us this damn land. When Venezuela became a country, they were fighting against the Spanish. That was part of Venezuela. Okay, you go look this up. These are facts. So Britain said no. So Britain decided to come in and steal that land, and Venezuela not being powerful enough back then to go to war against Britain. They took it to the international court. They said, "This is our land. How can Britain just annex our land, annex half our country?" Because they white people. That's why. What they do. We steal shit and we tell you to shut the fuck up. We come steal your shit. You don't got the power. You don't got a real military. So Venezuela, you shut your damn mouth. So Britain stole that land. So Britain stole that land. So Britain stole that land. I'm sure they got it here on the internet somewhere because they're probably hiding it now because now, jibber jabber, fast forward 150 years. Venezuela's been talking about this for over 150 years, and people are like, shut up, right? Over 150 years, they've been talking like every 5, 6 years, Venezuela goes back in court and say, hey, are you going to give us back our land that you stole? So now there's been oil found on that land. Now they say, Venezuela's trying to invade Guyana. How dare these dirty Venezuelans? Remember, they own the news, right? Now they portray the narrative as Venezuela is invading itself. It's their land. It's always been that was stolen from them. So they try to portray Venezuela as the bad guys for going in trying to get their land back. So you see all the news. Oh, Venezuela is wicked. They're trying to store and steal land from poor Guyana. Now you got the American military there. That's oil. Yeah, it's oil. That's they found oil there. So now you got the big American companies, Shell, Exxon, all them going over to get that oil. And now you got because the puppets there said, we're gonna allow America to build a base, of course, a military base. So they can guard excuse me. They can guard the stealing of those Venezuelan resources. And we're gonna take them. And then we're going to make a false narrative that Venezuela is invading Guyana when that land belonged to Venezuela. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see it. Well, hold on, give me a second. So this is what they wanted to do in Africa with the Congo. Everybody got a white guy in South Africa right now claiming that, parts of Cape Town belong to us white people. Let's break it up. Because they found what? Oil in Cape Town now. Kind of white people say that's our part of South Africa. You know why? Because it's wealthy there. And we know that Negroes are stupid and weak. So you got a guy who ain't even South African, who's British, who moved to South Africa like 5 years ago saying, we're going to annex ourselves and become our own country from South Africa. What is that? You know why? Because there's oil there. And we don't want to share with these dirty Negroes. They're stupid. Well, let me see something. What year did British get? Oh no, I got to do it again. Let me try it again. Wait. No. What year? What year did Britain annex part of Venezuelan land and put into Guyana?
According to milestones, 1866 to 1898 Office of the Historian, Venezuela Boundary Dispute, 1895 to 1899. The Venezuelan boundary dispute officially began in 1841, when the Venezuelan government protested alleged British encroachment on Venezuelan territory. In 1814, Great Britain had acquired British Guiana, now Guyana, by treaty with the Netherlands.
Here we go. So what happened was, all that area, they took the black slaves. That's why the majority down there is Africans, right? The Africans are in Guyana. The Africans in the next country are called Suriname. At that time, the Dutch, the same no good bastards that are down in South Africa, controlled that part of South America, Guyana, and what we call Suriname. That was Dutch Suriname and Dutch Guyana. So they was in a war with Britain and they lost. So Britain, let me read this. So as you heard the lady said, so Britain, I don't know if I can share my screen, probably not. Shucks, I'm not. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me see here. Okay. You guys let me know if I can share my screen. Let me know if my screen pops up.
Yep.
It did? It popped up?
Yes.
Okay, you guys see, okay, this is the border dispute, okay? The Venezuelan boundaries. This is going on since 1814. 1814, Great Britain had acquired British Guyana. They stole it from the Dutch. Right? Then they renamed it now Guyana. Right? It's now called Guyana. People always get it mixed up with Ghana. It's not Ghana, it's Guyana. And yes, still a bunch of Africans control it that were former slaves, right? That's what this is an old slave colony of the Dutch and the British. So in 1814, the British just stole part of Venezuela. Venezuela said, so the dispute's been going since 1895, right? It's over 100. So Venezuela's been going to the world court owned by white people, which is stupid. Said, hey, Britain stole half our country, stole the land. We need our land back. They can't just say we're the British Empire and still have our country. So people don't know this history, like that dumbass African leader. I forgot what goopy country he's from. Shut the fuck up when you don't know history. Shut your damn mouth. Moron. Shut your mouth. You're an idiot. You look like an idiot on the world stage. You can easily be a fuck. None of you African leaders know nothing because most of you are stupid. You're backward. You're dumb. Shut up. You have no historical context to speak. You don't know nothing. Still teaching people that goddamn King Leopold was a good man. So you don't know nothing either. Shut up. That's why no one takes you seriously doing world affairs. Shut up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Be quiet. Just shut up. You get to talking about world events you don't know nothing about. That's not Guyana's land, you moronic ass African. Shut the fuck up. That's been Venezuela land. It's been there for 200 years. They've been petitioning kindly. Hey, Britain stole our land like white people do. They come steal all your shit. They say it's theirs. Or they say, we discovered this. It'd be Seto and Maria sitting in that studio right there. The British come and say, look at us. We discovered this place right here. You know what we're talking about? You got Seto and Maria sitting there. It don't matter. These are no good dirty Negroes. We have discovered this place. So you're dealing with the psychopathy. That's what peace and reconciliation gets you nothing, get you everything stolen from. Exactly right. Now you got the South Africans finally realize that Nelson Mandela is not there. Now you got the youth. It's gonna be the youth that save Africa. Most of these African the old ones are messed up. The youth are understanding. They're calling what Nelson Mandela was a sellout. They're still in poverty. Funny thing about Africans in South Africa, right? I like to make fun of other Africans. Oh, look how developed we are, but they're the most impoverished Africans. You talking about? Oh, you look how developed South Africa is. You rest of you goopy nigga. You don't. So what? You don't deal with it. You still live in the slums in the dark. You don't got any wealth because the country's developed. You don't. You're not developed. They like to teach the superior to other Africans. You see it. It's kind of disgusting. They're you other Africans, stay back in your own messed up countries, undeveloped countries. Is that they can brag? Because there was a Nigerian I seen on TikTok telling the truth that, look at Nigerians, over 130 million of you are in poverty. Look at you. Fuck up. And so the Nigerian came on and said, it's over 250 million of us, right? Mm-hmm. And say, it's over 250 million Nigerians, right? In Nigeria, not the ones outside in the diaspora. But so that means another 120 million are not in abject poverty. So he said another 120 million of us are not in poverty. Now, you people down South Africa, your population only 60 million. He said, and I'm not even count the white people because they're not in poverty. We're going to count black poverty. He said, 85% of you people in South Africa that are black are in poverty. What are you talking about? There's only 60 million of you. So you're talking about 100 million, 130 million Nigerians who are not in poverty. And you said that you're better than us? He said, hey, you better learn, the South Africans, hey, you better learn how to count. We brag about you in South Africa and you're better than everybody else. But the majority of you sit in abject poverty. You don't own nothing. You keep talking about these African countries. She was a swirling raccoon. You knew of who? Yeah, who was that? Who you talking about? Who was a swirling raccoon? Who else? Who else that? Who else? Who else? Guinea. Who else that? But so
She was a swimming raccoon.
So what you see now is America wants to start another war. Not even America, not America, it's the cats with the small hat that run America. Let's keep it real. These cats with the small hat that run Israel, they want that land because it got oil. As you see, it's been almost 20 years Venezuela's been nice. Hey, this is our land. The British stole it. They've been told to sit down and shut up. Sit down and shut up. Shut your mouth. So now that there's valuable resources on it, now it's how dare Venezuela invade Guyana. That's their land. That was their land. How dare they do it? How dare they invade poor Guyana? Remember, Guyana is run by Africans, right? Still it's an African, they're servant. How can they invade these poor, dirty Negroes? How can they invade these dirty Negroes? We need to help these dirty Negroes. As if the black people there are going to get any money, like Congo, get any benefit from the resources of that oil. They're not. Their puppet leadership is going to get paid off, which they did. They always said they're going to allow America to build a military base there so they can protect those resources that they're stealing. But nobody in Guyana is going to have any money. Nobody in Guyana that's black, that's African, are still going to be impoverished. Still going to be talking about white Jesus. Still running around in tore up clothes, looking crazy. That's going to be their future. So that's what you have in the Congo. Congo, again, they wanted to break that up. So that's why they got their puppet Museveni in Uganda. That's why he's been allowed to be there so long. They got a surprise with him. His son, Captain Crunch, is not going to be the next president. They've already letting them know. Bobby Wine is the next president. He's the next puppet. Kagame, they're going to let him stay till he dies and I'm sure they got another puppet. Because remember, both these Negroes were scared of being cool because they both reshuffled their militaries. Museveni reshuffled his. And then Kagame reshuffled his military. I thought you would love Kagame. Your people love you, Kagame. But you went and got rid of all your generals? They're about to coup his ass. All the people want to love me. Then why would you change all your Why would you change all your military then? If the people loved you so much. The people love me. I can be president. See what they are. They're like, it's a dictatorship. And Uganda not as bad. Rwanda, complete dictatorship. That's why do you think you don't ever see no Rwandans ever on social media? One time they on social media, they be walking through a mall or something. Look at us, look at our mall. You don't see them ever having no political discussions ever.
And there is always that difference that people don't know, that the poor people in Rwanda actually kept in isolations.
Wow.
You are not allowed to step in the capital. You are always hidden away from the cameras.
What?
People, there is there is a separation. There is a segregation between the rich and the poor. The poor don't shop with the rich. The rich shop alone. They have their own, grocery stores. They have their own stuff. You don't find poor people. There are even roads where poor people don't use. You only find private cars using specific roads. So apparently there is there is like apartheid.
What?
In your own country, the apartheid policy, but this time it's between the poor and the rich.
Hold on, Maria. Well, hold on, Maria. What?
Yeah.
Come on, Maria. That sounds crazy. You sure about that?
Let me tell you, in Rwanda, the stores, first of all, rich people shop alone. You don't mingle. There is no way poor people and the rich people mix.
Hold on, Maria. Hold on. You talking about it? Wait. This is crazy.
I think there is also where refugees, people who probably the Rwandese people who live in who have dual citizenship in different countries. There is also, like, let me say, for example, if you are coming from Uganda, if you're Rwandese and apparently you are known to be a Ugandan refugee, when you are going, your bus stops you at a place, it's called Gisenyi. And I think that place is where those of Spikes went last time. The buses that are bringing people from other East Africa, they stop at a certain bus stop, and it's usually ghetto stuff. There are some good small hotels around, but there are places where they are not allowed to reach. There are places that are not allowed to reach. It's only the media that takes pictures and shows the world, Rwanda here, Rwanda there, Rwanda here.
It's controlled. You try to say it's a controlled lie.
It's a controlled place, so you cannot find any other. You may think there are no beggars, but there are beggars in Gisenyi. And the cameras are not allowed to show those beggars.
Yeah, I believe, Maria, because I remember when the first time, because I had him go twice. I remember the first time Cammie was there. Cammie said, "This feels like a police state." I said, "What?" See, I didn't know too much about it yet. This was just from her observation. So Maria said, right when Cammie was there inside, everybody's got this like a police state. I said, "What, Cammie? This like a police state. You can't say nothing. You got armed guards walking around everywhere. You get out of line." I'm like, "Shit." He said, "This like a police state around here." I said, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they kept them in power. I think
you see Kigali, Gisenyi. There is that Gisenyi around that place, Gisenyi town. Do you see the way Gisenyi town looks like? If you follow that, they have some small hotels, probably for people who are, the guy is he knows what he's doing. I think this guy just wants to, like the movies where we see people the government controlling people. If you check Kigali, you can go in and check Gisenyi, like Gisenyi Kigali. You will see what Gisenyi Kigali is.
That's why when a lot of American blacks go there to try to live, they get out of there because it's a police state. You're not, us as Americans, we're used to talking and being able to have freedom of speech. We can't go to a place that's dictated. We won't have too many of us in there because we'll overthrow it. We're not going to sit there and listen to Kagame talk stupid. We're not the average African no more. The Africans that have taken out the continent, we're more aggressive now. We're not going to sit and shit. We're not going to sit and listen to dumb shit. We're going to overthrow the government. They don't want too many back in numbers. They want a million, like 3 million in Uganda, 3 million in fucking Rwanda. We're gonna overthrow the country. We're not gonna sit there. We damn sure not gonna sit in poverty. Like, he's the leader, His Excellency. What? Fuck that.
Yeah. But he plays his game well. That first of all, the cameras are the eyes of the people who have never been somewhere. He plays, at times there are people even who visit Rwanda and they think they have reached the heart of Rwanda when they have actually not. He knows where a tourist should reach. He knows where a tourist shouldn't exceed. So you will come in, go out, and not know exactly that there are some points you have not been brought to and you're not supposed to reach to.
Mm-hmm.
So there isn't that too much freedom of movement in Rwanda. Even if you're a tourist, the tour guides know where to stop you. And he built some good hotels in some places that he knows these places are confined.
Mm-hmm.
So they will book you in those hotels. You stand and be like, wow, the hotel is good, and you don't know. So his game is so well. He arranges his game so perfectly that someone may not even understand what is going on.
Yes, because the press has been good to him with all the lockdowns. Oh, Kagame is developing Rwanda. Look what he's doing. Such a great leader, Kagame.
Yeah.
As people had voted for him for 25 years, they feel he's the only man. Nah, that's not what they feel. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's why he went and took his ass and got rid of the other military leaders. That sounds like a sundown town. It's see, a lot of African Americans got drawn in because we don't want to deal with the underdeveloped countries of Africa. So he was developing Rwanda, but the rest of Rwanda is not really developed. It's just the city, as Maria's saying. But it's so censored, you're not allowed to say anything about the government or against them. You know, they'll come and put a bullet in your head. You know, hey man, I'm just a tourist. I'm just a tourist. You know, better not say nothing about Kagame then. Shut your mouth. Okay.
Of course, now, like, what is the use of you building and developing, attracting other people when there is no freedom? You know, I rather sleep under a tree when I am free.
True.
You know, so what is the use of having all that when there is no freedom? When you cannot have freedom, when even the buildings you see, when you're not even allowed to touch the walls, when you cannot even get close, how proud can I be about something that I feel like I'm not worthy to share, or I'm left
You're
out.
restricted.
So,
Yeah, you're restricted.
so I feel like usually,
Damn, Shadow, what you beating up over there? You beating your mama in the head? How you doing?
bullied. I mute. Okay.
You would have beaten his mother in the head. What the hell's going on? I know you're angry with her, but make you take the jab. But goddamn, calm down, shut up.
You're good. So, like I was saying, why usually people, if you look at the documentaries, the stories of people representing Kigali or Rwanda, they usually talk about technology, the buildings. They don't talk about the people, because actually there is no much to talk about the people. So a country that does not represent the soul, definitely me, I feel like no, it is there is a lot, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. If at all we cannot see the people of Rwanda, marching in harmony. And by the way, we don't even see them celebrating the things that we outside Rwanda celebrate. Recently, there is an artist who sang about, freedom in Rwanda, and he was trying to, of course, let the world know what is going on. The next day, he was murdered and he was killed. It was only the people in Rwanda, the Rwandese people who are living in UK, who actually posted and spoke about him, but the world didn't know. And stories, guys. Anyway, that's Africa. If you have some good things, then you have a certain crap of it, wrapping it together in bullshit. This is Africa.
What the hell you cooking, Central, that's got to be banging on shit? Exactly right. Well, Maria said that's true now, because we're used to the corruption, but when it hits on a daily basis, so check this out, Jibber Jabber. I booked that room, right? I booked that room a month and a half ago, not knowing. So thinking Miss Maria and Central would come, but they had their exams this week. So I booked this room, right? I mean these apartments, right? I booked these apartments. So Wednesday, they sent me a confirmation number. Oh, your apartments are ready. We're ready to have you. Then send me a whole bunch of other shit through email talking about these are the things you can do when you get to Mombasa. Oh, okay, that's cool. Got my confirmation number for the apartments. Got my PIN number. So I had Joe. I said, Joe, we called him back Friday. and let them know when you guys are going to be checking in on Saturday. So Joby calls the place Friday morning. The guy tells me there's no room. The apartments are gone. I said, what? So the guy tells me the apartments are gone, right? Calls Joby the apartments are gone. Then why would so they tell me the apartments are gone, jibber jabber, right? That they sent me in a confirmation number 2 days prior to let me know the apartments are ready. So Joby calls this guy. Oh, the apartments are gone. So you see, understand the corruption in Africa, how shit goes. It's completely, and it started from the top. They've corrupted African people so bad where things don't work. So anyway, so he says, well, that apartment is gone. So you know, this time is the busy season around Mombasa, where all the tourists come in, tourists, the white people, and everything else like that, because it's Christmas season, it's summer for them, right? So I know that they gave my room away to somebody else. So I knew they gave my room away to apartments. I had a bunch of I rented 2 apartments for everybody, right? 3 apartments. I think it was 3 apartments. I never changed it. I never even changed it knowing that Maria and them wasn't gonna come. I just went and paid the whole price, right? So he's telling me, no, sir, the apartments are gone. I said, you sent me a confirmation number, you moron. How you gonna send me a confirmation number for things that don't exist? What are you talking about? You can't send me a confirmation number for something that doesn't exist. You understand this? This is called fraud. So then I said, okay, what else do you got available now? He said, well, I got it, because it's always the hustle. That means they stole my apartment for more money. That's what they did. So they solely got more money for those apartments that I already paid for. Then he sends me another apartment that's even more money, right? So now they get me coming and going. So now I'm sending. He said, but I need a deposit, sir. First, I need a deposit. This little slimy ass Negro. I need a deposit, sir, to give to the people first, sir. So I sent his ass some more money, a deposit, right, for this damn place. Then when they get there, and mind you, the bus breaks down on their ass because the Africans don't never do no fucking like the regular world. They don't ever do no damn maintenance on shit on a regular basis. So from Nairobi to Mombasa, the bus breaks down because everybody just worry about profit. No one ever does any maintenance and upkeep on things like you're supposed to do. Africa don't ever work. Same like when Maria told me when I sent Spikes and Cammy down to Rwanda, the bus broke down there too, outside Uganda somewhere, because they don't do regular maintenance on shit. You know, they don't do upkeep on things that's supposed to be done. So then, bus breaks down. They finally get to the place, right? You know, they got to stand up. Another bus comes and gets them. Well, they got to stand up. So they stand up for another bus that comes. Like it's like 1,000 people on one damn bus. so that pissed me off. So then they finally get there, and the lady that owns the establishment said, well, I only got these many rooms because you didn't pay the whole price. What are you talking about, lady? I paid the whole deposit. What are you talking about? Well, he only gave me so much money. So this moron decides to take part of the deposit. See, that's the shit. That's the shit Central and them were talking about. Things supposed to be free. He decides to take half of my fucking deposit. I put on the other new place. He decides he's just gonna take it. That's just gonna be his little money. When that money's supposed to go to the individual for the deposit of the rooms that I paid for. So they said, I can only give you guys so many rooms. I didn't get the rest of the money. I said, what you mean you didn't get the rest of the money? What the hell are you talking about? I sent that money to this moron. He only gave me so much money. So he took it upon himself. About, that's going to be my commission. Motherfucker, you don't get no commission for doing that. You don't get to steal nobody's money and talking about that's your commission. You out your fucking. But see, in Africa, that kind of crazy shit goes on. The culture from these motherfucking puppets from the beginning when they first got power, it's the same old. That's why Africa's so corrupt. Yeah, we trying to. Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah, squeeze you for exactly. Try to squeeze for more money. So he didn't squeeze. He stole. He took that money because the lady said, "I never got the money." Then I wrote him a thing today because I want to make sure they're all right. I said, I'm gonna get you fired, dude. You don't even talk to the help. I'm gonna talk to your boss, but you got to go. The idea that you think you can just steal somebody's money and think it's okay. I've already told you it's not that. That's my money for doing that. Motherfucker, doing what? Doing your job? What are you talking about? You sold my apartment, you moron. The apartment that I had that you gave me a confirmation number to. You're in the wrong. You were supposed to be trying to clear that up by doing the right thing. Then you steal the money. Then you were supposed to. That was your thing. Your obligation to find me a new place. Even though I had to pay more money. Exactly right. Why exactly? Why call it a booking jibber jabber if there's no apartment there? So imagine if I had Seto and everybody there, because I said the rooms for Seto and Maria too. I never changed that booking. Imagine there's no apartment and it's already booked. Then what's the reason for sending me a confirmation number if it's not booked? What are you sending me then? What are you doing? What are you doing? So, what are you doing? You sending me? You imagine how despicable this is. You send me a confirmation number for something that doesn't even exist. That you know you've already skated at to somebody else. That's the crazy part of this. This is crazy. It's like I'm coming to rent. It's like I'm coming to rent one of Maria's rooms somewhere. Where I say, Maria, I sent you the money, Maria. And I'm gonna rent the room. Say, okay, Keith, I got your money. Here's your confirmation number. Be here on Friday. Then I get to Maria's house. Keith, we rented that room out. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How you rent the room out, Maria? And I'm coming. I already paid you for the room. Well, we rented it out. What? That's the crazy shit you deal with now. And I know you deal with it. See, that's why the Africans in America, they come to Africa, they say, I can't deal with the corruption. We don't know how to deal with this kind of corruption on a daily basis. It's just absolutely insane. It became the culture. He don't understand he stole from. He thinks he had the right to steal that money. He really believes he had the right to steal that money from me. He really believes that. I took that. He said, this moron sitting there telling me, yeah, I took the money. I took the money. I said, I know you didn't take it. You stole it, stupid. That's the deposit that was supposed to go to that lady. That's my money to make sure they got the rooms. So now I got 8 people in 4 bedrooms because the other 2 rooms I didn't get because that man stole that money. The other 2 rooms I don't even get. So now they're in there sleeping in the same beds because it's supposed to be 8 beds that were now available. Now, lose those 2 rooms. There's only 4 beds because most of those beds are like I think the 2 queen size beds up in there in both these places. So now they all got to share beds. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. This corrupt, backward ass shit that don't nobody want to deal with. He's sitting there. I took the money, but it's not. He took the money, but it's not theft. It is theft, you moron. You don't get to take the money that's supposed to be for the deposit. Your company pays you, stupid. You don't get a piece of my money. It's like straight craziness.
No, according to the way I saw the messages, maybe the guy is a bloker.
What?
Because how do you expect someone to give you money when you are employed by the company? I think he's a middleman. I think the person you communicated to is a middleman. He's a middleman between you and the company. So for him, once he gets you that space, he's supposed to get commission for helping you find that place. And then the hotel also gives that those blockers are in Africa now. That was a middleman. According to, because I saw the messages that you sent on my WhatsApp. And middlemen also create websites where they link you to hotels. So they earn only through commissions. So I'm thinking this guy might have been a middleman. He might have been a blocker. That's why he commissioned himself. He didn't tell you the truth that this is not working direct. He created probably a website where, of course, he sells different hotels, not a specific one. So when he gets people who are interested, of course, he links you. So the hotel pays him a commission, and then from the money you are paying, he also gets a commission, according to the messages I was seeing on WhatsApp. So I think this person must be a middleman, because I don't think a hotel will do such a thing. There are only blockers who are always confused about shit, because there are different blockers. They will tell you, because for them they want a commission. By the time you reach, the house is taken, because they're not always on ground. You know, they are doing business through phone calls and stuff. So
exactly right. Icon, you get right. You get you're die for shit like this. I don't know if Maria said it right, because he's talking about I think he does work for the company, because I went to the company to book the reservations. I went to the company. So I was, I went to the company. I didn't go to no, because I know Maria saying like a third party he was fine. I didn't go to no third party. I went straight to the company. But it could be set up as a third party situation like that, as Maria said, because maybe he manages a bunch of different Airbnbs and hotels for those people, right?
Yeah.
I told the lady supposed to get my commission. She said she wasn't gonna give me no commission. Yeah, that's between you and the lady.
Commission. That's a blocker.
That goes to you and the lady. Ain't got nothing to do with the money I'm giving you. That's for you and the lady to decide, Mora, not me. My deposit goes for the place I'm renting out. Your dispute is with the lady. Has nothing to do. You don't get to steal my money. That's between you and the lady. You don't just say, okay, I'm gonna take this money. You don't get to take my money, motherfucker. And then my people don't got the rooms that they're supposed to have. What are you talking about? Everybody sitting there laying on each other and all this crazy shit because you decide you're gonna steal the money. You sound crazy.
I'm lucky that I didn't go.
this been the trip, man. It's gonna be.
I'm lucky that I didn't go, because I don't know. I don't like such kind of confusion. Like, I don't know how stressed these people are right now.
Yeah, Joe be stressed.
They're doing right now.
Yeah, Joe be stressed. Yeah, right. You guys get stressed too easily. I'm so stressed out. I said, why you gonna be stressed out because somebody stole the damn money?
You can imagine. I'm lucky that we didn't go innocent. Now we would be also like crazy rats everywhere. Shit.
You wouldn't have been crazy. You would have been there. You just wouldn't have had no bed. You would have sleep on the couch or something. You guys been Africans. You guys been Africans. You wouldn't have said that. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You guys wouldn't have said nothing. It's okay that he stole the money. Just let him have. It's okay he stole the money. As Africans, you guys wouldn't have said shit. It's okay he stole our money. It's okay. I'm sleeping on the floor. It's all right. I got to sleep on the floor. It's okay.
Well, I mean, it's okay. I got to sleep on the floor. But at times now, what are you gonna do about it? You know, there are things you can't. I mean, you let that pass. You do other shit. So I was like, when the world is so confused out there, now check what they have got.
Exactly right. He's a flim flam artist. He's a flim flam artist. Exactly right. He stole them. And then, because I sent the messages to Maria, I sent the message out, my conversation to everybody. See, I took, he said he knows he took the money, but it's not there. That's what he told me.
You feel like you understand the African version of a story.
He didn't understand that scamming and goddamn being corrupt is the norm. You don't understand, sir. I'm supposed to be corrupt and take your money. What? You don't understand that. Yeah. That motherfucker moron said.
There is a way people see things in a very weird way that they feel like it's okay. I was telling this last time here. Some people do things and they act like it's normal. Now check what the guy was telling him that I took it, so it's okay for me to take.
Yeah. Oh, this motherfucker's crazy.
You got to buy something and someone's like, didn't you know that we are supposed to do this? Like, why is your price 2 times? Now, don't you know I'm supposed to? I mean, like, why should something bad be normal? What we are? I don't know why people. Anyway, but that is so. Let me even not do the. Now, if I had gone to Mombasa, imagine if I had gone there. How can I?
We didn't know all this crazy stuff was gonna happen, Maria. Talking about
no, I'm not like
it happened too in Tanzania. So I got back to Tanzania in March. It's gonna happen in Tanzania. Only place I hate to say it, I will give Kagame credit.
Connection tebali mu nsi ddala bali waabwe otegera kyenjogerako kati jjukira ssente nyingi ziri mu bukadde
kati bazigabana
ku hoteri ziri kati oyinzisanga obwo omusajja gumalevo nga gwe kati gwaba oyituyinza okuva wano netugamba tugenda ku resort.
I will give Kagame credit. You don't have that kind of corruption down
buli we bagenda kyova nze saagala kugenda nabo kuba akazanyo nja kabasumamu kabayite mu maaso ate ng'okimanyi ffe ne tumala tugenda ffe tebatuwaako kiri tukola gwa kubonaabona awo tufunirawo ssente ne tugenda ne tusula mu woteeri oza tubeeramu ebyo naawe byekinyamba
tuliye twetapula tutakula mbuto
grosary balizimeketerako
emwagipala
Mkono yatuyambye nze kati siwulira nawuli nabijja sakatuwa nkaniisinkemu naye kakangulire
yabeerako obudde buwedde esaawa ziwera
Good job, is the mama there.
You guys got it. I see you guys a little bit. I gotta go.
All right. Thank you for coming through with us.
Well, you always whispering, lady, if it's so disrespectful. What happened? What lady? Who's whispering? You talking about Maria?
But are you right? I tell you what, Job is the mama bear of the group. And I can bet you, why are you always whispering? Have I whispered, really? Njogera ko nga whispering.
Kyaba kigambo tekiddamu.
Atwala erina lisinaba ku whisperingako. Tompayiriza na muting. Tomuting, why am I always whispering? Naye kanifaya bye biki? Tondirako nnyo biggwe naawe. Obola agamba whispering. It is disrespectful. Naye yenyampi.
Garasha.
Kigali. Kuba njigala bakyagamba nnyo.
All right. Thank you guys that have been watching us since the first hour of this show, where we started with DLS Elections 2023. Thank you so much for those that have been commenting. And starting from Derek Askew.
Hey, you said the fire, not
yeah, going to my brother Ikan Fire. Thank you for those great comments. Thank you so much. Jeep Jabba, thank you so much for your comments and for always letting us know about things that we don't know. Thank you for such a great discussion. For those that have been following us and watching
General
us,
Mosquito.
yeah, General Mosquito. By the way, I was going to him. For those that have been watching us from Facebook, General Mosquito, Ofori, and others, thank you so much.
And the silent majority.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to close this show right about now. It has been me, Innocent, with my colleague.
The Whisper, Africa Maria.
Africa Maria, Kampala, Uganda. Thank you, guys. Good night. By the way, it is night this side. So good night for those that are watching from Uganda. And for those that are outside Africa, have a blessed day.